Hello everybody, it is Al Knight, it is Brony time, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. When we last left off, we started to investigate the area outside trying to find the kidnapper. Instead, we found a dead body, and we believe that it may be the dead body of a kidnapper. Of course, then Agent Lang eventually showed up and arrested Meekins, claiming he did it. We tried to rebut him, but he refused and threatened to arrest us for obstruction of justice if we continued to interfere in his investigation. So now we're just gonna try to figure out what the hell we're gonna do. So let's get right back into it. Chased out like a pair of peasants. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Kay? There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is? You really shouldn't steal anything, however, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal? A life. It's too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with ever. That's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. No matter what we may try, murder is one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands, when I apprehend the murderer myself. Alright, and I'm gonna work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go! I still never said she could be my assistant. I'm just going to drop the issue. The first thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe, Mr. Edgeworth! The stadium, hurry, sir! This is supposed to be a hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium. A witness? You, what did we tell you about leaving your assigned post? Ah, the jig is up. The jig is up! Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir! Those detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves. It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet this witness. You know what I noticed? We don't go back and forth. They just automatically take us here and there into this scene. I thought there was a witness here. Probably in that pink Badger-mobile. Yeah, I don't see anyone. Mr. Edgeworth! So she didn't just appear in Apollo Justice. She appeared in this game before. Hello, Emma. I liked her a lot more in Apollo Justice, though. Long time no see. You are Miss Emma Skye, correct? This girl is the youngest sister of my former superior, Lana Skye. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. But I thought she had gone to Europe to study forensics. I can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Are you still studying abroad? You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes scientifically. I've been studying non-stop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist. But it's spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit. I see. Well, let's talk to Emma Skye. So she would be 18 in this game, since she said it was 2 years ago, and I believe she was 16 at the time of Rise from the Ashes. So yeah, she's like 18. I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown in these past few years. Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm going to be a super forensic scientist someday. You'll see. Oh, Emma. I got bad news for you, girl. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Skye. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to be a forensic scientist. How about you? Wow, that's a great dream. My name's Kay Faraday, and I'm training to become an unstoppable great thief. A great thief? Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on. You bet we do. So why are you here, Emma? Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break. Then I heard that you come back too, so I raced on over here. I had really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I had just missed you. And how exactly did you know I was here? Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. I use these to track your footprints, and I follow them straight to you. This set is the greatest. It's so wonderfully scientific. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the special light on it, zing! The footprints light up like an electrified noble gas in a glass tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking. Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than at this very moment. Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed. Huh? What are you talking about? Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about? Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickeys right now, pal, he said. What was that man thinking? Or rather, not thinking. So let me guess. There's been a murder, right? Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint in her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness. Now, where did that person go? I assume this is another Badgermobile. Yeah, but it's different color than the Blue Badger's car. Yes, this is the retina searing pink model. What's that off in the distance? Oh hey, it's the Pink Badger! Badger, get! Badger, 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 just what does she see in these silly things? I think this Badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Are you by chance the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak Badger dance. Can you please fucking just take it off? What the fuck? No! Why do they keep bringing old bag back? Why? I can't take being inside that stuffy head anymore. No, why her? Why here? Why now? Oh, I feel the same way, Edgeworth. I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was witness in one of my cases. She has since gone out of her way to pop up unexpectedly and cause me great grief. Edgy Poo! Why couldn't you understand what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really. I was trying so hard to keep the kid's dream alive by staying in character. But you couldn't pick up on what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking, so I'm just going to be direct. I had a bad feeling before, but this just made it official. Today has gone beyond the typical not my day into the realm of waking nightmare. So you're a friend of Mr. Edgeworth too, Miss Pink Badger? You could say that, but right now I'm just the Pink Badger, dearie. She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman. My name is Wendy Oldbag, but you can call me Wendy or Granny or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Miss Oldbag. I'm Kay Faraday. What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you? Yeesh, I was just trying to be polite. Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatewater hotels the last time we met? I go where I'm needed. I go wherever Shu wants me to. I am very good at what I do, unlike the youth today. I get called in all the time to fill in when there aren't enough hands. But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now. I finally get a chance to see you again, and here you are talking with 2 young girls. Men are all the same. It doesn't matter how old they get with young girls. Why, just the other day, I happened with you to notice me. He went and got 2 arranged marriages with 18-year-olds. What he sees in her at all is to say the prison thing. You seem to attract all sorts of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth. Kay, please, I'm begging you. By all means, do not provoke her any further. Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be a witness. Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I don't think fate is going to be so kind today. I saw what happened. I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that? So it's true, she is the witness. I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag. Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. Sorry, the moment of the murder. You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes? Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. I came to this stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. Looks like we hit the jackpot, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I can't afford to ignore what she has to say. Unfortunately... What's the unfortunately you tacked onto the end supposed to mean, Eddie Pooh? Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady. I came to the stadium to take a short break.
Hold it!
Probably should press everything here, since we're really just trying to get information. We're not really trying to, like, catch her to lie. You mean you took a break from being the Pink Badger? You may not think it, but it's hard work keeping kids' dreams alive. You smell of sweat, your hip creaks with pain, you even begin to dream about work. That's the kind of story that would scar a child for life, you know. Well, that's why I chose to come to take my break here, whippersnapper. I don't plan on playing the part of the dead badger in front of a bunch of kids. So what did you see while you... the Pink Badger, were resting? Oh yes, that. Well...
Hold it!
You saw two men. Can you describe them for me? They look like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that. But how did they have any... I'm sorry, but do they have any special features? Anything you can call would be very helpful. Oh my, don't tell me you're jealous of those two men. Hey, she's right. You do seem pretty worked up over them, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous. It's alright, Eddie Pooh. Those two were just fools compared to a stallion like you. I thought so little of them that I lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them.
Hold it!
You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place. Absolutely. That gun made a terrible racket when it was fired. You didn't try to go help the person that got shot? I'm only one person, you smart alecky brat. What could I have done? But I took off as soon as I could to find someone who could help. Two men, one bullet. It's all consistent with what we found out from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony. Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without something to jog my memory? Self-centered, aren't we? Well, it was somewhat useful. Her testimony also presents us with a new problem. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? So about this new problem, what is that giant grin on your face for? Do you want me to show you something really nice? No, thank you. Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're gonna like. What is that gadget you're holding? What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief. Ah, I should have known it would be worthless. Ah, don't be like that. What do you think now? What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air. I'm going to input the necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I will increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Well, hello. Every game has to have its gimmick, right? For investigation. Well, what is this? This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I put it into Little Thief. Little Thief, I dare say, I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a bit too far. Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I use it like this... Let's see, Miss Olbag said that two men were facing each other. And then a gunshot rang out and the victim fell to the ground. Ah, so with this we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past. See? So what do you think? I have to say, I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days. Well, it is a super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu. Indeed. Oh, but if there isn't enough information, or if something is out of place, the recreation could come out a little strange. In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness's testimony. Oh, shoot, sorry. let me go back. In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness's testimony. You got it. You really catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth. Right now, the simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification. Feel free to examine anything in the simulation in the way you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. And if you find something, I've got Little Thief with me, so you'll let me know, okay? According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here. That's right, but if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction. Huh? What? Where? If this is the real scene of the crime, there's something missing that should be here. Which piece of evidence shows the missing item?
Take that!
This is the contradiction. Is there something wrong with my recreation? If this is the real scene of the crime, something specific should be here. If you think back, how did we deduce that the other crime scene was not the real one? Oh, I get what's missing out. There's no blood on the ground here either, right? Right. The fact that there was no blood here casts doubt on the witness's testimony. Edgy Poo, how can you doubt me like that? Are you calling me a liar? I know what I saw, and I saw the victim get shot down. You know, I don't think she's lying, Mr. Edgeworth. To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. In that case, maybe there's another explanation for the distinct lack of blood. Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume? So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers? I think we can reasonably assume there's a very good chance that he was. And that if he was shot while he was inside one of those stolen costumes, then Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground. Precisely. Now if only we could prove that the victim was wearing the costume. You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints. But the problem is finding them, since there doesn't seem to be any around. Footprints, huh? I wonder how we can go about finding some of those. Emma! This is amazing. Just feel the power of science. Emma, about the method you were talking about for finding footprints. Ah, finally, my expert knowledge in forensics is needed. Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints? Leave it to me. My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything. Very well. If you could please analyze the footprints in this area. Okay, stand back now and witness the power of science at work. Hey, I found something! Look right there! I don't see anything. Oh, that's right. Here, put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth. These footprints here were definitely left by a badger costume. Judging by the way the prints are layered, those seem to be the newest. Then we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time. Okay, in that case, I'll update Little Thief simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we find out from this new info. So, the victim was wearing a costume when he died. And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right? I see the recreation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be closer, but now something else has caught my attention. What do you want? Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please. I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. So, does this seem this old bag's testimony has a contradiction in it? Yes, and I believe our best course of action is to compare it with your recreation. See, I just knew Little Thief would be able to help. Now let's see if we can pull more info from Miss Olbag to put into the recreation. For that, we must first find the contradiction in a testimony. Well, how did you know they were men? Because he was wearing a costume.
Objection!
2 men? How did you know the gender of the 2 people involved? Seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time. Ah! Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony. I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all. But I'm telling you, I really did see it. I saw it with my very own eyes. From a seat in the 2nd tier. The 2nd tier? Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier? That was, you know, I was using the phrase in the metaphorical sense. I see our witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense. The cushy seats in the 2nd tier are reserved for hotshot VIPs. It's exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap. I could see how you could have gotten a good look from there. It's so high up. Were you able to see even the victim's costume from way up there? Well, I know I saw 2 people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, you know. A good man from 100 paces away as well noticed me in a flash and tried to make the move, but the judgmental eye. Let's return to our investigation, shall we, Kay? You got it. It looks like they broke the stage down. I guess this means they're done for the day. Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start its run tomorrow. So, the stage is... yeah, that doesn't vibe. If that woman's testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down. Do you want me to input that bit of info into Little Thief? Yes, if you please. Okay. Oh, shoot. There's clearly a contradiction here. Please stop stealing my lines. Oh, come on, it wasn't that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me. I suppose in any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way, because there was a very real stage set up in this spot at the time. Yeesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything? Yes, well, in any case, we still need to resolve this unusual situation. Isn't it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage, naturally. Right, Miss Olbag? Yes, I remember now. The killer was standing on the top of the stage. See? Now let me update the info in the simulation. Yes, but that still contradicts. Wait a minute, that does explain why the entry point's weird. Well, well, what have we here? A bunch of hooligans running amok, I see. Who is that lady? Feel like we haven't been introduced to her at all yet. Agent Thang, how nice of you to join us. Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes. Agent Thang, we discovered that the real scene of the murder is here, the stadium. I see, thanks. For what? I'm just trying to show you my appreciation for all the time you saved me. Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that? Little Thief is not a toy. You too. Sir? And there you have it. You see, big boys like me don't need silly toys, little girl. Now this is a recreation. So what? Do you still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer? Of course. Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook. This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed. How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime? He's the most likely suspect we got, especially given the situation with his gun. Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark. You see, thank you for understanding my little crow girl. Grr, I'm not some common crow. I'm the Yatagarasu, the Raven of Legend. Unfortunately, your conclusion is yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up. Okay, buddy.
Objection!
I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang. I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You caught it quite unexpectedly, after all. What's that supposed to mean? You said that the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible. Huh? Why not? Recall Mr. Deacon's body, specifically where the gunshot wounds were located. Actually, I didn't get that good of a look. Oh, well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with an angled shot from beneath the victim. Then, yes, our recreation of the victim being shot at an angle from above. A clear contradiction. You're discounting your own conclusions? No, this one point is the only flaw. This was a mistaken parameter in a recreation, the witness's location. The location of the witness was our mistake. Ejipu, how can you betray me like this? Your testimony was riddled with vague statements. Hey now, I can't let you get away with bad-mouthing a very valuable witness. Besides, if you're saying that it was wrong for you to think she saw it from far away, then perhaps she saw it from up close. That'd make her story even more trustworthy. It didn't mean it that way. Ejipu, you can do it. Hang in there. So okay, we were wrong. So the wrong parameter was not where the witness was. Okay, so this is a step. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, I see. I went a little too quick. Yes, the location of the kill of the victim were wrong. Ah, I get it. I see what you're trying to say. I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what we initially thought. If it was the victim who was on top of the stage as he was being shot by the killer. This is what happened. It also explained the positioning of the gunshot wounds. But then what about the footprints? Since footprints don't lie, we can assume then that the killer also wore a costume. Okay, I'll try using that data instead. Judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I'd say it was a killing between the two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang? Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. But that alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. And we will continue to hear Agent Lang's next assertion next time on Ace Attorney Investigations. Yeah, so here we are at the end. We found out a little more about this killing. We know that both the killer and the victim were wearing a costume. That the victim was on the stage and the killer shot him from below, which explains the weird exit velocity. Entrance and exit wounds. Still, oh my god, I'm sorry you guys. Still deadly though. But we'll have to figure out the rest later. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Brony Time for more content, especially more of Ace Attorney investigations. Also, please make sure to share this video far and wide so we can share this series with as many people as possible. And I will see you all in the next one.